Yep, really cool.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting day, full on, both tired.
Yeah, it's pretty tiring, but it's all worth it. Like, just being able to meet all our players, just having like this big venue full of everyone who's passionate about RuneScape is absolutely amazing. Being able to talk to all the players, hear all their ideas, hear what they've loved about the game, hear what they want to change about the game and stuff like that, absolutely amazing. It's really great.
Yeah, the audience really liked Menaphos in terms of the quality of the production values and the standard of the graphics. We received lots of like really positive feedback from that. One of the challenges we had with Menaphos was the development resource that we had to put in to do something of that scale. So we've had lots of discussions about that this year, and it's led to a slight change in our strategy. So we're looking at basically, we talked earlier in the RuneScape reveals about unfinished business, which is how we're approaching our content now, going back and really fulfilling the promises that we've made in the past and making sure that all those loose ends are tied up so we can move on and move into some new exciting stuff.
The history of RuneScape has always been, we've always updated on a weekly basis. Not many games do that. And yes, with Menaphos, like whilst we still updated weekly, it was very minor updates, like mostly just patch notes. There was a few things here or there, but it wasn't kind of like, players got restless because it wasn't like the RuneScape they knew. They weren't getting their kind of like every week excitement, what's going to be next sort of thing. And yeah, whilst Menaphos it was good and stuff like that, as Matt said, like what went into it meant like it felt like quite a dry period, and even afterwards we changed the strategy again, but we had to go through a dry period of before teams were able to start producing updates again, and we've kind of started getting back into that and we're starting to build a bit of momentum again. It feels a bit more like RuneScape again.
That was the original intention, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't mean that we won't be able to do things at that scale again in future, but it means we want to make sure that we're responding to what our community is saying. And we, as Jamie said, we felt that a lot of our players were feeling it was too long to wait to get their hands on new quests, and the content that's really the lifeblood of RuneScape. So we listened and thought about this a lot, and we think we've come up with a way of doing things now that is going to bring us closer to the community and really listen to what the player needs are at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Just because we've changed the strategy, we still definitely want to do big, large updates again in the future. But it's not about putting a time like when this is going to be, when the next one's going to be, when the next one's going to be. It's going to be about doing the right projects at the right time. It's like, what do players want now? Let's give them that. And then when they're looking for something that's big and chunky again, that's when we'll do it, sort of thing, and we'll make sure it's got the correct theme behind it and all the content behind it is what they're looking for, sort of thing.
We're also looking at how do we re-engage with players that used to play RuneScape and maybe don't have the time for that kind of content anymore. And this is why it's led us to really push to get RuneScape onto mobile, which is something our players have been after for a long time, and now we've got the technology to do that. And it's a way of really bringing that game back to all those players that probably played it in the past and maybe just don't play anymore.
No, not really. So, over the years we've been looking to improve our technology. It was last year or so we released our new XT client, and when we're able to do that, we're able to go, hey, look, now we can put it on a tablet, on a mobile, and it's just been the natural progression sort of thing. It's always kind of something we want to do, but there was something, actually it was seemed like much more of an obtainable goal. And now we're able to do that, and not just for RuneScape, but for old school RuneScape as well.
Yeah. Now we've got the complete RuneScape experience running on mobile phones and tablets, and it performs really well. So we're getting really good frame rates and performance, and I think the players here today are really impressed with how well the game runs and how smooth it feels. So, yeah.
And we've seen them even with the we haven't worked on the UI yet. It's a technology, it's a tech kind of demo, but they're happy with the performance and stuff. But the UI and stuff it's all scaled down. But even now, they still trying to fight like our top boss monsters and being able to do it with like the scaled down UI and
I just
being,
want
like,
to be
really
the first at Runefest doing it, no matter what.
It's amazing. It's great to see, sort of thing. So I mean, like going into this, we were kind of we're not sure exactly what they're going to say, like how they're going to react. But at the very start of the event, we did the big kickoff show. We talked about mobile, and we got a massive cheer, probably the biggest cheer of the day so far. And then immediately afterwards, we've had queues in our mobile stands all day. People playing it, having a great time. It's been really good. It's the same game whether you're playing on PC or mobile. Your same account. There shouldn't be any differences really, other than what you're playing it on. So and like all content for the future, the whole idea is that it's if we're releasing a boss monster, you play it on both. Or any other content. It's like it's the same game on both.
Yeah, it's really important to our players as well. They made it quite clear to us. They weren't looking for a cut down version of the game or a companion side app or something like that, or a mini version or pocket version. They want to feel that they've got the same game, so they can continue from the PC, take it with them when they go to college or work or whatever, and just carry on playing. So really it's a kind of all or nothing thing. So the Novtumberfest is basically it's a bit of fun. It's our version of the Oktoberfest beer festival from Germany, and there's loads of activities that you can do. There's like dancing, and there's a very retro inspired what do you call it, kegger, the game where you have to fling beers along a bar. You're a bartender, and it's a way of players to engage in something a bit lighter. And we've done things like this in the past, and players have been really pleased with and got engaged with. So we think it's going to be a lot of fun.
So Dimension of the Damned, I mean, like, this is we've done some previous things in the past. We did like we trialed a game called DARKSCAPE, which is like a hardcore version of our game where you PvP everywhere sort of thing. Players really, there was a core group of players who really liked it, but it didn't get the same sort of attraction as kind of like RuneScape and stuff did. But in our surveys and stuff like that, they've still been asking for these different game modes and stuff like that. And this is our attempt at it, and we've built this thing. We think it's going to be like tons of fun. It's going to be running in October as well, and it's very much one of those things where we put it out there, and we think we've as I said, think we've developed a really fun game mode. We'll get the players in, see how it does, and we'll also use that to influence what we do in the future with these sort of things. And we would love to do more of these and improve them with like each time we run it sort of thing, and maybe make it more competitive in the future and stuff.
And hey, it's zombies, right? Who doesn't like zombies? Yeah, it's a PvE experience. So we find we're definitely taking a leaf out of old school's book, as we do with lots of things, because they've got a great community there. But old school players tend to be more competitive, and they're interested in PvP combat. So we designed the Dimension of the Damned to be more about a collaborative PvE experience. So you're fighting off the zombie hordes that are coming in. You're grouping together to take down the big ogre zombie boss thing, and you're building barricades as a team to sort of protect your sort of enclave.
So reworks, we're on the kind of graphical side of things. With RuneScape, we've always kind of pushed the graphics of the game. We've always tried to improve it. And with Menaphos this year, we kind of like hit a benchmark that we're really happy with. But we're happy with. We're not entirely sure with the players, and over the next couple of months, we're going to be working with the players to find out is that the benchmark they're happy with. And from that, we're looking to set a benchmark that then like all our future updates and all our reworks are up to that level, so that we can finally take our whole world and bring it up to that level. And that's something we're really keen to do. And that's not just the environment, but over time, that's also our characters as well in the game. And we're doing it a bit scientifically as well. We're looking at where our players train the most, where they're playing, and we're kind of focused on those areas first. But we're looking to do in time the whole area sort of thing, the whole world.
And then with the skill reworks, so we asked our players, how would they feel about 2 different options. We did an in-game poll and we did a straw poll with one of the streams. Players were very clear. Again, it's kind of all or nothing with RuneScape players, and they made it very clear they wanted us to do the full mining and smithing rework and tackle all those things that we've talked about in the past, and nothing less will do the job. So we wanted to come to Runefest and confirm to everybody that's absolutely what we're going to do. We fully intend to deliver on that.
So with Menaphos we released, we updated Slayer to go from 99 to 120, so that's increasing the skill level that you can get with that skill. And Slayer involves going out and killing creatures, and what players told us was that there wasn't enough content between 99 and 120 when we released it, and so we're looking to release a number of updates where we kind of fill those gaps. And the first one of those is Lost Grove, and it's a nice big chunky area on our world map.
It looks amazing as well. I mean, when you see this, it's really cool.
I talked about the graphical benchmarks, so I think it's very much at that level. And we've got a number of new Slayer creatures in this Lost Grove, and that was the main focus of the update. But when we make something so cool like the Lost Grove and stuff like that, we just want to put more stuff into it. So we've got like a D&D, which is a distraction and diversion. So that's a kind of daily thing, or weekly. Players would go and interact with that. In the future, we've also got this big new hardest boss monster plans called Solak. It's like a giant kind of tree creature sort of thing.
You've got to take him down bit at a time and work on different areas.
Biggest monster
really
as well,
cool.
I think. And and that's coming a bit later. But the Slayer creature is coming next Monday,
week,
in fact.
Yeah.
And that's it's part of building out the goal, but obviously a nice, great big area to explore as well, and more content to play and so on.